Yes.
So given the fact that the three candidates are able-bodied cis white men, I just wanted to, no, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, I was just wondering what you would each do in terms of supporting diversity on campus, because I feel like that's a huge issue. At King's specifically, I mean, we've been sitting in King's Hall, all the people on the posters pretty much look like you guys. So I'm just wondering if you have any ideas specifically on how you would work that into this group.
Well, I believe in equal representation for everyone, and I would consider myself one who's open to everyone as a resource. And if I'm ever not representing someone to in the appropriate way that they feel I should be, I'd want them to come talk to me, and I'd want to fix that as soon as possible. As for specific ideas, I'd want to talk to the people who are concerned specifically and ask what they think could be done differently, and work with them to work on a solution towards that.
Sure. Yeah, just sort of to echo what Chris just said. For me, I think especially what's important is that, you know, like you mentioned, we are all, I believe, cis white men sitting up here, and we do not share those experiences with people in marginalized communities. So perhaps the most important thing for me would be to listen, really, and to hear what other people have to say as to how we can work together as a community to improve these situations.
Again, I would like to say listening is the most important thing. However, I would also like to add on that we could add more supports coming in, like potentially, again, a diversity club might be a great thing to have in the Manning Room. If we could have a counselor come in, have a relaxed environment where everyone's welcome, and you can talk about your experiences, or you can just come, relax, have some food, and just have a safe space to be in for everyone. I think it goes quite a long way in making an inclusive community.
Does anyone else have any questions?
I'm curious to know how each of you would plan to make sure that day students feel included and comfortable in your events, because often is the case at King is that the large majority of students in first year do live on campus, however there are some students in first year who do not. So I'm curious to know how you would make sure that they were all on that.
So Caleb would like to start?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's super important. And I think maybe a lot of the reason that day students don't feel like they're getting involved is because, at least in my experience, my limited experience so far, a lot of the events tend to take place on campus and in residence. And during, you know, the evening hours, which isn't necessarily accessible to day students who often have to travel long ways to get to school and home. So perhaps one way to do that is to sort of, of course, I also believe that a lot of day students who are in first year happen to be from Halifax and live in Halifax. So I think we can build off that as a resource and ask them, you know, what are some great things that a large group of rambunctious people can do together for free in Halifax? And, you know, what are some times that we can do that, like maybe on the weekends or on Tuesdays when we don't necessarily have class, so it can be in the day, so that people don't have to feel like, you know, well, I'm missing out on an event because here it's at 9 o'clock again, so I can't make it all the way back to campus. And, you know, things like, I mean, I never made it out to the Oval last year when I was here, and I heard it's a lot of fun, so maybe trying to find the time to bring everyone together and check that out as a whole group. Or, you know, things like Nocturne is coming up, I believe, would be a super awesome way to, you know, maybe get a group together, go appreciate the city, see some of the art it has to offer, things like that.
Riel, you want to?
Yeah. So I would like to, again, I think that's some great ideas. You do need to make sure that the events are coming out at times that are more accessible for people off campus. But another thing is just communication and making sure that it's very clear through, like, we have a Facebook group, so making sure that everything, all the events get posted there, and also that people have time to give feedback about when they're able to come to these events, right? So making sure that you just have an avenue for people to respond to that, and even ask the question, like make a poll on the Facebook page, when are you able to come to this event? When's the best time for it?
Actually, it's funny, as a res student, the first two friends I made were on the first day were day students. And I think that even though they don't live on site, it's not impossible for connections and communication to happen. Logistically, I would try and meet as often as I could with the first year DSS rep, Paris, as much as I could to collaborate on ideas. I think Caleb and Riel have wonderful ideas in terms of logistics on times of events and places, and I would piggyback on those as well. And yeah, so I would try to meet with the first year DSS rep as much as possible, so that there's one line of communication, and of course online tracks of communication would be open to everyone, not just resident students.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay. Well, if there are no more questions, I think that concludes our candidate speeches. So voting